Grant, short notice, but at the same time, he's more all-around dangerous.
And he's more of a finisher, too.
And he gonna go for it because he got some fights that ended with like a second left to go. Lightweight division, we have
Colby Covington. Mark Madsen.
Colby Covington Jr. But we got a lightweight matchup that's kind of pivotal because this is going to determine who kind of can go up the rankings and start getting their name up there. Because what is Mark's ranking actually? 24, kind of close to 15, and 22. Both of these dudes could be passing the threshold here.
Hey, Mark coming closer and closer to losing each fight.
I know, because let's keep it a stack with you. That Clay Guida fight was closer than it looked, and that Vince Pichel fight, like he should have won that one. So Mark Madsen and Grant Dawson, man. Grant Dawson is taking this fight on short notice. I believe it was scheduled to be, he's stepping in for Drakkar Klose, and that was gonna be on yesterday's card, last night's card, but then something happened, so now Grant is taking this fight on short notice. Man,
Grant got them submissions though, man.
I know. And I think he might have the wrestling. It might not be at the level of Mark Madsen, but I think his overall MMA wrestling, his skills might make him a little bit more dangerous than Mark here because
he can take somebody down and stay on top of them, bro, and ride the clock out. And Mark is more, he can take people down, but can't hold them down. You know how Yoel Romero was? Some of these Olympic wrestlers, like, they can take people down, but they couldn't hold them down. It's just weird.
But I will say, man, last year, a year ago, actually, he had a majority decision with Ricky Glenn.
Ricky, you never know what you get with Ricky, though, man.
But to be fair, Mark Madsen got a split decision over Clay Guida he probably ain't supposed to have. I mean, he got a unanimous decision over Vince Pichel that he probably ain't supposed to have either.
I'm gonna tell you
that should have been a split decision.
I'm gonna tell you one thing about Grant though. He's like one of them guys. He got a lot of third round finishes,
and he go for it.
And Mark doesn't have the best gas tank.
He don't.
Like he's good for like 2 rounds.
But I'm gonna tell you, he got a hammer of a right hand, boy. If he land that right hand, my goodness, you might wake up on another planet.
He only got 3 knockouts though.
I know, but have you seen him landed in the UFC though, man? He been hitting people hard. You right though, because they're not really translating into knockout.
Grant Clay fought like James Krause.
Clay Guida was kind of impressive in the stand-up. The thing that separated it was Mark started using his range, and he kept Clay at distance, and Clay couldn't really close the distance and use his striking, so he was kind of swinging and missing. But Grant is gonna be more cerebral than that. Like he knows.
Bro, you know what's funny? Grant is only 28. For some reason, I thought he was late 30s because he's been around so long. I thought Grant was like pushing like 37, 38 for some reason.
I've been seeing that name a lot. My mind says Mark because he's been preparing for a fight. He was preparing against Drakkar Klose, but with Drakkar Klose, you don't have to worry about the striking and the submissions as much. It's mostly grappling, and that's if he can even grab you. Grant, short notice, but at the same time, he's more all-around dangerous.
And he's more of a finisher, too.
And he gonna go for it because he got some fights that ended with like a second left to go.
See, Mark may have to finish Grant, man. He may have to finish him.
But how he gonna do that? Because if he can't land that right hand, like again, he got a right hand, but it ain't translated into knockout. Remember Josh Emmett, when he first started fighting, like, and he would throw like a similar big right hand, people was going to sleep. Mark ain't really got that. Marco Madsen ain't really just.
I told you he was like a Colby Covington clone.
But he can win decisions though. He got the formula figured out. I'm actually picking Grant Dawson.
I'm going Grant too, man.
But I wouldn't count Mark out. Now I'm not saying Mark ain't good or nothing, because obviously he's undefeated for a reason.
I don't think he has the style to beat Grant.
Only thing that concerns me is that 2 weeks notice thing. Now unless Grant had another fight scheduled, let me see. He didn't have nothing else scheduled, so I don't know how good of a shape he's gonna be in. Now since the fight didn't happen Saturday, that means he get another week to prepare. But man, Mark Madsen is a big strong dude to be fighting on 2 weeks notice, man.
Another thing is with Grant Dawson, is this his ceiling? Because you beat Jared Gooding, you lost to Ricky Glenn, you beat Leonardo Santos.
He didn't lose to no Ricky Glenn.
I mean, He drawed with Ricky Glenn, man. So,
but he ain't lost in the UFC. So we can't say what his ceiling could be because he ain't been beat.
I'm saying we don't know that until.
But we don't know what Mark Madsen's ceiling is either. Again, split decision to Clay Guida, bro. Come on.
Yeah, it don't look like he's.
And then that Vince Pichel fight, man. Listen, most people who watched that fight said that he really supposed to be 11-1 right now.
Exactly. And then imagine Mark in the top 5, man, against the Michael Chandlers. He can't take none of them guys down, and he can't submit none of them, and he don't want to stand up with none of them. So I mean, I think Grant.
Mark got the wrestling to control this fight, though. I think his overall wrestling is good enough to control Grant for a while. And I'm concerned about Grant's cardio, but Mark cardio ain't the hottest, man. He's so big and strong, he throws so much into every punch, and he bank on that wrestling. But as the fight progresses, man, he does slow down pretty significantly. I'm going with Grant.
This is tough. I'm 50-50 with this one, man, because Mark, what if we see improved cardio?
I know.
That's what I be thinking about too, man, like decision making and stuff. So
because he knows that Vince fight was close, so I have to imagine that he's trying to make sure that the rest of these fights ain't as close, so nobody will say it should have went to the other fighter.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to go with Grant Dawson on this one.